information that will help us do our job better in order to ensure that your stay with us for the weekend is a pleasant one and that you are well taken care of. So, yeah, thank you. Fly?
Oh, once more. I had a conversation with one intelligent guy in this industry. And unfortunately, to impress, he said some of the things I think at the right time. His timing was perfect. And he's one of the most vocal people I know. He said, sometimes there are people who fight with insight. There are people who fight nje because walonu. I think as vocal arts creatives, organizers, we, I believe I'm speaking for all of us, we acknowledge that there is talent and massive talent in the Free State. I believe there are artists who are even way better than Somizi, Langaye. But Press mentioned something very important, the experience and the skill. This man made me an example to you and said, a person who went to school, doing the same thing as the person who never even went to school. Mare banali ba sebetsa mosebetsi o tshwana. O fumane o wa excel in this, o wa sekolo hana yona, ona le yona. But we are saying, really the artists in the Free State, we are feeding from the same pot. Why not niga give me the knowledge that you have, skill? Because now we are trying to say, let's shy away from this thing. We are fighting Makufe. Halwana mo kili DJ le planka wanna go and perform go Makufe. You get 15,000 rent, or the colot, or the rent, or the whatnot, after the HI. But we are saying more, go to the summit, go obey unecharuwe, utlo ikupua got the necessary knowledge that you need. There is business music, there is PR. Honalen toto tlameang o di tsebe hore na o sustaina craft ya hao jwang o ya pele to master it. Karasta to make an example for but visual arts. They were laughing Karasta, the visual arts guy. Rasta utroya saw. But when I researched, I saw that this guy is selling portraits internationally. Then I tried to think and say, what if all of this was PR? So we think people like him, Renalidi portraits, we saw the registration processes. We didn't know about that good visual arts in the Free State. But we will never see their work if this is procedures you need to follow for you to get your work out there. So like we said, Rona anyone, and we're not gonna do anything. The criticism that we are getting, the negative and the positive, ibohlokwa haholo. Ibile ya re intse re fa le insight ona ke eng thotse re hlokang go di addressa mona Free State. There was a trend on Twitter, I think it was 2-3 years back, Slango. Now, artists from Joburg, KZN and whatnot, but they were calling Free State artists crybabies. Everything, eyesight Sahali. The government is not doing this. The government is not doing this. Bona, they even said, why not? Leona, we are trying to say to what's a message or do something, kantonang leon, and do it proper. Somebody at our sister, you cannot just invest in something stagnant. Fly. Also frustrated out. You get asked, leadership. It's nice when a person comes to you and say, Fly, what do? You tell them I'm an event organizer or I'm a dancer. This is my work. I've done this and this and this. I'm failing to do this and this because this this. But you are saying, dancer, gina luicha fela katlu. How na next wena we zamang or we to lisepe. So kina na hakana the deslangu hlalusit. The ultimate end kore ya the summit kore hotlo chooswa the but what we conduct the master classes will be choosing best of the best in all the spheres. Batonka journey, is it 6 months? Ne? Then after 6 months, we will be getting back to you and saying, Batubani ba choosing from the summit, Kiba, Baboni, for progress ya bona for the past 6 months, ki e. So that lebona huwa makufe, you don't fight unto hagi kinyu. Sometimes, even organizers who are in here, they never do the lineup stabona ka local talent 100%. Because we have this thing, fly hard, people cannot pay to come. So we are saying, and take them on a journey. So that after 6 months or a year, who can do the PR, who can do ing, osati baona, ki ing atlamang ayete to sustain a career high for long. Then have mayor posting, Belemutiba Luna, Remoni, Khalaramuka radio, Ramona TV, and whatnot. So that's all basically that we are trying to achieve.
Okay, thank you. We're going to make an announcement, yeah, lineup. I know you have seen this lineup on social media. You have not yet seen it. Okay. We're going to make an announcement of the lineup. I'm specifically interested in the Free State artists that are on this lineup. We have Sam Shale. He's an actor, Kim Sam. No? He's from Mutabelo. He is conducting, he's on the panel. Linda Khotsongkhatu representing film. We have Ndate Khotsongkhatu, Dr. Khotsongkhatu. We have Rifilwe, is it Mochwa? Mochwa? MOCWA. Who's going to conduct a fashion masterclass. She's from the Free State. We have Candy Smith, who owns a fashion school in Bloemfontein, who's also conducting a fashion masterclass. We have Tiwe as part of the organizers. We have Press as part of the organizers, also from the Free State. We have Mama Dile, is a choreographer. And funny, she was actually suggested by Somiz. We have Duduma Koba, who studied music, who's also from the Free State. She'll be conducting a master class at the vocals. We have Tsidai as part of our MCs with Bosomizi. We have Asavela sitting over there as our MC today and during the summit itself. And then on Sunday, on performances, we have 2.1. I must now call them the mighty 2.1. Award-winning, multi-award-winning 2.1. We have Legudi, we have Fantas, we have Noxy, we have Biggie, we have Bondo, we have MC Fire, we have Ruby Red, we have Fly, we've got myself, we've got Ituma Rema, we've got Troy, we've got DJ Dodo, we've got Versatile, we've got Jeps, we've got Dieo, we've got Max. We have Kunupo, we have Rasta, I and I. So, Biki Mafabatu, yes, Biki Mafabatu. So, this lineup on Sunday, there's only one national artist. Well, besides me, and 2.1. Fly is not a national artist, he's still local. We have only Cetril, who is not from around the province. I know you guys are itching with questions. I want to hand over this microphone now, so you can start asking. I think I should get my pen ready. So we do have 90% representation of Free State artists. Unfortunately, we could not take everyone that is good. This is what we have for now, for the budget that we are running with.
Also, something very important, 25% of the attendees for the summit will be the disabled. which we feel are always marginalized. So they will be also attending the panel discussion, attending the master classes, attending the festival and being part of the festival. All the creatives that are not on the stage on Sunday will be exhibiting their work. So that needed to be mentioned, that a big portion, 25% is a big portion of the people that will be part of the summit will be the disabled. Yeah.
Questions? Do we have a roving mic? Please mention your name when you ask the questions and what you represent.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sonia Mtaung, for those who know me. A little brief about me. I used to be a journalist for Sunday World, City Press, Drum, whatever. So yeah, we actually thought that we'll have a full house today, but I see my people didn't pitch. So, but you know what I like? They said when Coke started the first year, only 6 bottles were sold. So, you know, I have this thing, that the theory that people want to see things first before they become part of them. So I'm telling you now for free, by next year, you'll see something that we've never seen. Everyone will want to be part and parcel of this. I am from Free State. I was born in Bethlehem. So, yes, I'm a Free State born and bred, even though I've spent most of my time in the other side of the, Gauteng. So what I wanted to say about the Vuga Arts, I think it's a very great initiative. I think Free State needed this, and for the longest time, we needed to have our home root crew that we can rely on, that we can actually sell out there, you understand? So even if I'm out there and I go, Press, like he said, he's known. I was writing about Press those days ago, almost 20 years ago. So I know exactly what he's saying. So we need to take our people, put them out there, so that they don't feel somehow inferior, that they're not as good as the others. So we always say it starts from home. So I'm saying today, this is a great initiative. By the end of this week, people will be saying things differently. And I thank you.
Questions?
Hi, I'm Neo Bune. My bio is really not important right now. My question is, I heard you guys saying that you're gonna help these people. I heard you guys saying that you're gonna help these people for like 6 months. My question is, are these people gonna sign contracts or how is it gonna work out?
More questions? We'll answer all the questions at the same time. Any more questions?
Good afternoon. My name is Portia. I'm from Valcom. I just wanted to ask, did you guys consider Me Koni? Habana ke ka mona ka Thabong. O tlo tla le yena?
I also have another question there. I'm not disrespecting Rasta or anything. Couldn't you guys get a proper artist? Was it eyes on the screen or what was it? Because was it a gimmick? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Good afternoon. I am Pusile Tomoleko. When listening to everyone, I didn't hear anything about age limit or how far you guys are stretching that. And do you want young people? Is it for people who are not in school? Is it for people that are already established? Or can I just wake up and say, I want to quit my 9 to 5 and become a creator, an influencer? Is there a space for me in regards of that? So can we just get a few points from that?
Ostiwene, I think my question is going to you. In terms of the WhatsApp number that you were talking about, can you please elaborate well on that? Where can people see that number? Where is it? How is it all about? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe people are familiar with it from the social media. Is it important for us to register? All that. Please, just if you can elaborate it well for us.
Okay. I think we'll answer these questions that we have, and I'm sure some more will come. Thank you, Sonia, for the positive review, and we appreciate it. Now, Vuga Arts Free State is not a record label, so we're not signing contracts with anyone. We are going to put in place measures that help artists reach a certain point, and from there on, they can decide what they want to do with themselves. For instance, we would make sure that the artist that is chosen gets, I'll make an example if it's music, gets a proper photo shoot, a proper recording, high quality, a PR company that's going to place them on newspapers, on TV and social media and run a social media campaign for them. We are going to make sure that we push a collaboration with a national magnet in terms of whatever genre they do. From there on, they are on their own. So we're not signing contracts with anyone. You don't owe us or government anything. We are just making sure that we put you on the right path so you can follow your career with the right resources of quality. Does that answer your question? Okay. And then you also asked about Rasta. Not so long ago, I went to perform at the Olympic World Cup, at the Olympics, sorry, in Birmingham. And I went into a museum, and I was shocked to find Rasta's portraits in that museum. And it's none of these portraits that we see on social media, these jokes that he makes about people. It is a media ploy. He does that just to get attention. He's a professional creative, proper. These things that he does are exactly for that, so that people can go and talk, hey, Rasta utroile mangbono mutroile ambijwa. Because that's what drives South Africa. Trends and jokes. So Rasta is a professional artist, and he is selling portraits internationally. And because he's going to be on the panel, some people are going to be shocked to discover of the things that Rasta has achieved. So the reason why Rasta was chosen was to break the chain that people have about marketing. There are so many ways we can achieve certain things. You were making an example the other day about some person who was trending on TikTok. The father is a writer who writes books. And this child thought, how? My dad writes such amazing things. And this child went and started posting stuff on TikTok. And Datwahae is one of the best sellers in the world as we speak, because of just social media. So there are certain elements that we are missing. And maybe, Rona, because we are from the old school, we tend to overlook them because they're not the conventional way of doing things. But there are new ways now. The platform has changed. We are no longer doing PR like we used to do it. Social media is the biggest drive of marketing yourself as an artist now. So Rasta is using that, and it's working for him very well, because he is known as the shittiest artist in South Africa. Sorry for the language. But he actually does that for marketing, so he stays relevant. I don't know if that answers your question. No. And then there was a question here, me koni chaume. Chume. Is it chume? Chume. Okay. We fought and we fought and we fought and we fought to get me Chume. She's busy filming, so we could not get her for the dates that we want. She was the most relevant person. We even tried to even shift dates for her, but she is busy shooting, and whatever that she's shooting, because of the short time we had to organize this, we could not confirm a date with her. We tried our best. Mapaseka as well, so we couldn't get that. There was also a question about criteria of age, right? We are looking for professional, not talented. When I say professional, it means this is your bread and butter. Because if you are talented and you're a doctor, yeah, you can enter the summit. And we want to develop people who depend on this specifically. But it is not exclusive. You can be a doctor and come to the summit and the seminar. I mean, it's not to say it's not allowed, right? In terms of age, it has to be an age where we don't need consent, because the program that we are going to follow after this summit is going to be very aggressive, and it committed to the times. So in the summit, we are going to explain this. The summit is to teach. The program is to progress and develop. Now, after this summit, once we have been chosen, we'll explain what is required from you, if you will be able to do it or not. If you're not able to do it, it means you are reporting at work every day in the morning. Then it means you can't follow the program, because then there's recordings, there's this and there's that. It means you can't. So within the master classes, as people are going to be chosen, so you are required now. If you can, you'll be in. If you can't, also understood. Does that answer that question? No.
I think that you answer most of the parts, but when you exclude and says that you only want a professional, it's a bit not lying well with me, because that's why we get shows like Idols, you know, that they always say you must rely on education and whatnot. So you do have people that their parents would say that go to school, finish school, but they know in their hearts of hearts that I want to be a singer. But I feel like this program is going to be my shining, light for me. So if you say you only want people that will be only based on that profession, then you're excluding them. But when you say that you want people that will be fully committed, to the program and avail themselves, even though they have whatever they're going on, but avail yourself and be fully committed to your growth, then it makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay, yeah, I maybe didn't construct my answer very well. But what I'm trying to say is, and let me re-explain it again. What I'm trying to say is, it is not exclusive to people who are available. It's exclusive, this program is available for people who will have the dedication and the time for this. So if you are, for instance, a child ko skolong, we can't help you because ha go hloko tla bo le skolong sometimes. So that's what I was trying to say basically. But it's available for everyone, this program, as long as utlaba committed to the program. Are we answered? Okay.
Since this program now is about creatives and whatnot, how come YouTubers and people who are on TikTok and whatever, because we're moving away from the traditional media, how come we don't have TikTokers? We have TikTokers from Valcom traveling the world based on YouTube or TikTok. How come they're not involved in this program?
Oh, no. When we started, we even acknowledged influencers in the yes, I'm going there. In terms of, and the reason we group these things, only department they are film, it's actors, stage performance, media, and hence when if you could register on that WhatsApp, the prompt, the reason behind the registration progress, the prompt, is that when you are a TikToker or whatnot, it will direct or now will attend the master class young film ikinte, even media, stage performances and whatnot. So it's just that we couldn't list them or under film as this and this and this and this. But if you know that I'm doing something in the creatives, whether it's whatnot, please go to that WhatsApp. It'll direct only the selection criteria tla bua hore na e o lahlela ka kae. Ha ya kgesolla anyone. Ko arabile. Thank you.
Dumelang, nna ka lebitso ke Jabu Mpanza, also known as Jebs Dimitri. I run one of the biggest lifestyle events in Central SA called 057HC. You know, one of the teachings that I got from a gentleman called Igom Bamban, may his soul rest in peace, was if you're able to learn from other people, doesn't matter how much you think you know, take that knowledge in and run with it. So I think one of the biggest problems that we have in the Free State, particularly in the arts industry, we've gotten used to being fed by government as artists, and that has created a big problem in our industry, because we have certain people that feel that if they're not part of this thing, or if infiltrating Satlakabona, then they immediately become the enemies of progress. I think for me particularly, the reason why I'm here is for one thing and one thing only, and I think we should all follow suit. We're here because we are going to be taught something that we don't know, and we need to take that knowledge and run with it. My biggest worry, Press Lefly, is that this thing, it's in conjunction with arts and culture. I would have loved for you guys to have a representative via arts and culture, particularly because I know that you are going to be answering questions that are beyond you guys, questions that should be directed to arts and culture. So my question then would be, during the summit itself, are we going to have a representative via arts and culture? Because as Press mentioned, there's already a lot of backlash on the socials, you know. And I feel like it has taken so much away from what you guys are trying to do to basically divert the progress of the summit, you know. So my question would then be, or I would really love for someone from arts and culture to actually sit with you guys and actually take in these questions, and when they answer, they need to be very informative, you know. As a person that's also attending, I've got a lot of questions, not directed to you guys, but to them, you know. And I'm sure a lot of people that are going to attend the summit, they do have those questions. And I was explaining outside that, you know, we all think we're important. Kaofela rona re nahana hore re bohlokwa, you know, ke bohlokwa ho feta the next guy. Because I saw on social media, the minute you guys launched Somizi, one of the biggest beneficiaries of government tenders or work or whatever, the first thing that they did is, you know, comment on why you guys are bringing Somizi. This is the very same person who used their own platform to also book Somizi at one of their shows. So for me, it didn't make sense as to you challenging something that you have no knowledge about. Got the very same person almost saying when eventing or showing how. Which is why I say the problem that we have in the Free State is that we have been reliant so much on government that when something doesn't come to you, immediately you become the enemy of progress, which is a problem. So moving forward, I would just love you guys to make sure that the panel itself is well represented, about arts and culture. Because I'm sure the people here, they really do have questions that are gonna be, you know, focused on the department itself. And I can tell you now, you know, there's so many questions that they're gonna ask that have got absolutely nothing to do with the summit itself. So just please make sure that moving forward there is someone from the department that will assist you guys with those kind of questions moving forward. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeps. You said some profound things there. We do have representatives from arts and culture on the day. We do have the HOD, we do have the chief director, we do have a couple of people representing arts and culture on the panel on the day. This summit will take fire, will take shots because of what you just said. Artists are disgruntled by the involvement of arts and culture in the Free State. And unfortunately, we are taking the punch now because we are supported by arts and culture. And I would like to take this as a positive initiative from arts and culture to start with, just supporting this initiative. I'm not involved in how they choose or what's the criteria of considering a proposal, you know, for anything, whether it's Makufe or a festival, or I just know that there are district festivals that they fund, and I don't have information about it either, you know. But what I can say is we are so entitled. We are so entitled, it's embarrassing that we think because the industry in the Free State is in the state, it's the fault, it's government's fault. It's not. It is our fault because we have positioned ourselves to think that we must get a tender from government in the arts to make it. You've been doing your event. I know that event from where it started. You have been doing your event without government, you know, and you have been consistent so much that you can actually stand on 2 feet and call it the biggest lifestyle event in the Free State. So we need to stop being entitled, and you are right, we need to ask these questions. But these questions should be building questions, not blaming or pointing fingers at arts and culture. Arts and culture does not owe artists money to go and record an album. They don't. They don't owe us money to go and make a festival. You need to go to government and ask for assistance because you have a vehicle that is running already, that is developing the economy, and you are saying, I'm employing so many people, I'm giving so many people a chance. It's like local artists fighting to be on your show when you don't want them on the show because they're not giving a quality performance. It's the same thing. You need to we are entitled, let me leave it there. And on the day, there will be representatives from art and culture, and we will get the opportunity to ask the questions or the relevant questions. But as even people watching this live stream, I would just like to urge, please come there and ask relevant questions to arts and culture. One, this is not a government panel; it's a summit. Yes, we want answers from arts and culture about certain things. Yes, but the focus here is development. How do we move our industry in the Free State to the next level? That's what the summit is about. And for the next couple of years, that is what we want to achieve with this summit. So when we do get these questions, I'm praying and I'm hoping that we get people who are there for development, not to tear the structure down.
With regards to Potsoya registration, there's questions also on Facebook. I think we'll share from those that are watching the live stream. We are closing tomorrow midday for applications or for registration. You have to be 18 years plus. And as soon as we've received your application, and as soon as basically we'll be sending out further information from those that have already submitted the applications. The disappointing thing is that we have possibly like 30% completed applications, and the balance or the remainder is incomplete applications. So people start the application and they don't finish them. We're going to try and encourage people, and we're going to follow up with those that have shown interest. But at the end of the day, those that start the application and the basic information is required, they're not coming back to complete the application. And therefore, it means that it's a bit pointless to say we are putting together this platform. We are seeing the interest, because if you were not interested, you wouldn't have even started with the application. But for some reason, there's a problem with completing the applications. So we would like to urge people that tomorrow midday, we are closing applications, and it wouldn't be right just because they did not complete the application. So I'm urging everybody to do that. And then with regards to questions online, I'm going to share with the panel, my fellow panelists, so that they can see the questions online. Ignore. I don't know if there's any other question that we had not addressed, because I know that Asa has been taking note of all the questions. The Facebook. All right. So, press, you don't have information about the district festival. What are you doing there? Because Liwena, you have made it on your own, or whatever support you received. My question is, how did you move to reach out to the upcoming artists?
You know, Jabs actually nailed it when he said we don't have the information to answer on behalf of the department. And he was 100% right. I don't have that information, and I did mention it. I did say that I don't have the information. The reason why we're doing this is for upcoming artists and artists that exist already, who are already on the ground running. So this is part of my initiative, jointly with my co-founder, Ndate Fly. We are really trying to put this together and make it work and create a platform that will develop artists. There are many people, actually, a gentleman just walked in now there, I can see him over there, that we would like to collaborate with because of his business acumen. And this panel next year would have grown to other people who might be in the room or not in the room. Because we are not here to own this thing. We are here to say, let us collaborate, let us work together. How can we better it? The criticism that we're going to get during this process, will help us grow this thing and make it even stronger as the years go. But if there's one thing that I can tell you is we're going to be very protective of it and make sure that the people involved have got the same interests and are not here because they want to be a service provider. Asa, do you have anything?
Okay, we've got one more hand. Kopa mic. Is there another hand, just so we see? Diego. Yes, okay.
Dumelang. Ka lebitso ke Motshidisi Mokati, also known as DJ Today. I just want to ask, in terms of balancing the scales, when you choose the people that are going to be selected, because I'm very passionate about developing women in the industry. Ke kopa ho botsa hore na, are you going to balance the scales in terms of selecting those that are going to be mentored and those that are going to be helped in terms of growing their brands and growing the work that they do? And then secondly, I feel like the radio industry is a tad neglected. I mean, you know, we've got so many community radio stations in the Free State, and we've got, you know, Lesedi FM that has legends, you know, in that field. I'm just, you know, putting it out there, or maybe next time on the next, you know, Creative Summit, maybe also that could be another part of arts that you maybe put a little bit of focus on. Thank you very much.
Ke a leboha hape ka monyetla. I don't know as to nna ke tsebe hle kapo the number ya registration ha wa ibitsa le o ibitsa ke ha re e tsebe ha ke tsebe le hore e fumana kae. Ha ka arabua hantle a feel hore ka arabua hantle mono jwale ke taba pele eo ne and ne ke botsa le hore importance ya ho register ho important ya kae kore wa avoid taba hore motho ha sa tsebe ka number a sa register a ska phoqeha sa le gate la bona. Okay, potso tsa ka tse ke nang le tsona hape tse ding ke hore why 6 people, because I think ke utlwile ntse 6 people who are going to be selected in the summit, so why the number 6, and are they going to be selected only just by attending the summit? What will facilitate you based on how they were at the summit? But like physically, kapo hoto chekuwa even those who didn't even attend the summit, because I think they mentioned in the lelona mona hore ona le batho le batla ba bete who couldn't make it on the date. So I still feel the artist ba sa tlo kgona go attend. Kapo le rona re hlagetse bo re ka bona mang a le teng on the 6th empa na sa attenda. Re understand no, it's okay because on tlo choose anyway. So another thing gore, are those people only going to be from Velcom? What of Velcom since the summit is here? Kapo, ya karetsa Free State kaofela. Letole ka hore from the 6th, accommodate all the artists around Free State na. I think the last one Corina. Can you be under Voga Arts? You know, Elore, you have your own recording company. Because you guys don't sign contracts. It's not like the recording company or any company over an artist. So my question is, if like you guys said, already pro. So if you look at someone on a company under yona, leba no ba teng le motho still le sebetse le ena ka bojwang. So I think yeah, ke tsona potso tsa ka tse. Ke a leboha.
Date Dio. Kalega tabaya registration. Tabaya registration, it's very important because it creates a message for because also na le program in place or na panel discussions what not and what not. And either le mosebetsi administration when you get there, there will be people who are placed there. Babua jwalo ka re tlabe re tseba hore these are people coming, so maybe we need to mention this to you. Also part ya progress ya registration progress, it's because only accommodation that has been reserved. I meant to say it's reserved, it has been booked for everyone who will be a participant at the summit. We provide you with accommodation, we provide you with food, we provide you with transport, whether it's Harib, Tabo Mufutanyana, Fezile Dabi, and everywhere. So it also makes our job easy. So that by Friday, transporter ilata tio khaukai, ilata fly kai, ilata mankai. So that also accommodation ite. Hare ketele litle mo ritse tlong ga tlo lefa accommodation letla le 1,000 kan tirena la accommodation ya batho ba 200. Also how no bua ka batho ba tlobang sio ono bua ka, I think it was at that point in Mechume in Elore, we wanted to be part of the panel discussions and master classes because one, Mechume is one of the biggest artists not only in Free State, Meolo wente bo Black Panther, bo Gomorrah, a lot of shows. So nere batla yena, nere sa hlalose hona le batho nere ba batla to be part ya batho ba tlo workshop and whatnot. In terms of ena re kopa ikana o butse potso ya bohlokwa ntato e tla re batisa mathata. Classing yo tla bo attenda ho yona. If you could see somebody else ono sa mona ibile mo ale category nya gago kapo in that part ya the summit, there won't be that. But batlo choosua based on masterclass tse batlo ya ho tsona. I cannot choose a best actor. Press cannot do that. Tiwe cannot do that. But we believe Dr. Khotsong Khato can be able to identify a good actor and say, this man is good, he just needs this and this and this. Then Harmo selected as one of the people who will move Alabona forward. I cannot kilo workshop masterclass for the vocals, but I believe Duduma Kova can say to me, makeup team, these are the best in this. So Leon, okay, another one to mention, after this summit, we have a TV interview. Mori Tlotsibisa list. It's already scheduled. These are people who were selected out of everyone who attended. This is best of the crop. And after 6 months, progress or mo.
And just to extend on your question, it's unfortunate that we don't have 100 million to do this project. It's very unfortunate. How choose it is not government money that is going to do this. We have gone and we have secured certain private sector businesses to assist us in terms of this. Government is not going to pay for recording, they will assist. But it's not like we have a set budget now. 30 million for developer the artists for the next 6 months. But we have just gone on our initiative to say we are securing this company to assist in us developing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there will be a gap in terms of who we are choosing and the number that we are choosing based on budget. That is why we can't take everyone to come to the summit, remote developer. It won't work like that. We need to choose certain people to take them to that next stage. Now, another thing I also want to highlight is, I just mentioned not so long ago that the next time we do the summit, because it's going to grow, this table will probably be 3 times. We'll be sitting with people from different spheres. We would know maybe Tio Kakao is going to be responsible for comedy in the Free State because he has achieved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. who would know Mama Mamang is responsible for film because usa achievile hakan. Mama Mamang otlo leader DJs because usa achievile hakan. Well, understand? For now, this is our humble beginning. And moving on, we're going to grow with the people involved. That is just what I want to highlight. Sorry. Sidai, you asked a question about equality. We have to balance the scale. It's very important. Very, very important. The industry is dominated by male. We all know that. And we have a lot of female talented DJs specifically, you know. And it would be unfair for us to overlook that. Unfortunately, we need them to register. We can't go and fetch them common law. They have to register and be part of this process because we are going to be audited for these things. We're going to be audited and we're going to be asked questions after this. How did you get to this? We have to answer for it. So we can't go and pick people who are sitting at home and say, come. It has to be through this registration process. And I also want to pinpoint, guys, we had literally 12 days to put this thing together. And I'm saying this because the proposals were in a long time ago. It took time for us to get the go-ahead from the people that are supporting us. So at some point, SABC was supposed to come and broadcast live. I don't know how many times we've changed dates for us to get here today. So last week, Friday or Thursday, we only got a go-ahead, and we had to put everything that we had now together quickly to do this. We are definitely going to deliver, I guarantee you, but we are going to grow and grow and grow and grow. Does that answer your question today? Radio. Radio is a heavy one today. The biggest problem that we have, guys, is everything in the Free State is politicized. Everything is politicized, and I'm saying this with respect. We politicize music, mutu ona okeni mona because it's ba motwane. So things this na merit. I'm not here because I'm good at what I do. I'm here because ki khono tshwarel tsola mamang, a khono mamela, am fantwa mfangyon. That is a big problem because it will always give us substandard things. I don't know anything about events. I can't go to arts and culture to the department and ask for money to do an event. I don't know anything about events. But bateng bo jobs, but what's about the events, bateng bo fantas, but what's about the event, but they've got experience, you know? So those are the people that government should focus on. And we need to single out these people to say, no, events kibatuba in this district. Events districting ena kibatuba. Is kaya ka di favor, iye ka merit. What have you done? Now, even with music, in as much as I've been doing music for 30 years, go master classing, I'm focusing on one thing. I'm focusing on stage performance. I feel like there's a big gap in the music industry, performance. That is why, if you've ever been to the show Mangotsona, you will see I always come up with a car on stage. There's a couch. I always try and create theater just to give a performance because that is what Americans beat us with, if I should call, because they're the leading in the music industry. Stage performance is very important. So I'm not going to do vocal training. Duduma Koba studied music. She knows how to train people vocally. That is why. So we do not choose people because mamang wa bina so akahona. No. We chose people specifically. Duduma Koba wa ruta ko State Theatre in Pretoria. She teaches music. So we're not just getting people in jail because they are represented in music. We're getting people because we know that they will deliver this first phase here at the masterclass. Radio is a very difficult question. Honestly, I don't want to lie to you. But, like I said, as we grow, we are going to put our heads together to see how do we perfect this one? How do we develop that one? But like I said, this is our humble beginning, and I'm hoping that you guys will be involved. I hope we all will be involved to make sure that we achieve this thing, and we look at it and say we are proud of it. We have achieved that. That work?
Yes, sir. Dumela. My name is Mtowozi Singwenya. I just wanted to ask, hypothetically speaking, let's say we have about roughly 1,000 people who registered, but the target is 6 people whom we're going to invest a lot of time and energy in them. Re tlo etsa jwang ka mohlomong the rest be leng ba tla ba setse? Will there be any time invested in them so that by the time we reach the next summit, honali mohlomong 50% of knowledge that has been invested in them to cut down the time of the success yaba to buy under the creative arts in Free State? Kutlele mentioned KZN. They are far they are far beyond us and many provinces in South Africa. Sometimes we even say KZN is like a country on its own. However, about the way Bapushankati, Gauteng, and so on. So I'm just very concerned over now. After we get those whom we are looking for, but there are some individuals whom we can see that they have a lot of potential. Or can we still say, whilst we are still busy, part of a certain task force, to try and invest more time in them. So next time at the summit, at least we've cut down on the effort that was required to be applied on Batwatla Batlile at the time. Thank you.
Okay, so Dio Askisi for not answering your questions correctly. The number is available on our Facebook page. It's available on the Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation's Facebook page. So every time they share a post about the summit, there's a poster that goes with it. But I'm going to give the number. And I've also responded on our Facebook page. More commenting live. I've also posted it there. The number is 083 587 7478. It's 083 587 7478. Somebody was asking where to find the application forms. We don't have applications forms. You just need to text that number and you will receive prompts. The importance of registration. Can you access the summit without registration? No, you can't access the summit without registration. Mainly because we our target, we are working with 100 people. And those 100 people will be it get 20 per district because we are trying to even out the number. There's always complain hore. You talk about the Free State, however, everything Mangaung or everything this particular district. So we're trying to even things out to ensure that it's 20 people per district. So if we receive more than 20 per district, then it means that we're gonna have to go through the submissions and see who we are putting through and who we can't put through. Like Vusi said, we don't have that budget, so we can only work with 100. So if you want to come to the summit and you are not registered, you will not get access to the summit because we will have a database. And the most important thing about the registration is that we are trying to ensure that people that are not actively working as creatives do not have access to the summit. Those people that are supposed to be at the summit, the creatives that the summit is conceptualized for, is put together for, access ya summit because something is happening. Go victory, and let's go and find out what's going on. There's a lot of also misunderstanding. You have people thinking that we are looking for service providers. We have people thinking that it's a small business. Like this, people don't understand that it's called a creative summit. So you have people wanting to register and somebody says, can't I just, so why do I have to register? I'm not a creative. Can't I just come and watch the summit? It defeats the purpose of us putting together. And these are some of the questions that we are getting on our platforms. With regards to the number, the 100 number of people that we are bringing to the summit, there's details like accommodation, for example, because we are using a specific residence. Because the residence ya bona, it's a hostel. Ba hloka ho tseba hore ka monana ka bathong ba bomme, how many people do we need to prepare for? Batho ba bontate, how many people do we need to prepare for? And it's that basic information that we get when you are applying or when you are answering those questions prompted. With regards to transport as well, we need to know hore from Tabanchu, we need to know how many people will be from those places, so that we ensure that everybody, ufumana transport, whether it's one person in a specific town, they will be accommodated. We're not going to prioritize, let's say, for example, an influx ya batho ba Bloemfontein, berere ha re na lata motho a iwane ko Garipi. We will make a plan to make sure that everybody gets to the summit. And then select the 100 creators. Okay, somebody wanted to know how many people will be attending the summit. It's 100 people, excluding the dignitaries, the premier, the MECs, so excluding the dignitaries, we have 100 creatives that will be at the summit. Those are the people that we are accommodating. That's the number that we have prepared for. We cannot accommodate more than 100. So besides the panelists, the people giving master classes, the dignitaries, the creatives will be 100. And as stated, it's 20, strictly 20 per district. Unless we don't get numbers from a particular district, then we can't say if money the application say 20, then it means that the difference will be allocated to another district. We'll see how we allocate that to another district. And then somebody's asking, can individuals or companies apply? So the registration is specifically for individuals. So whether you have a fashion label that is called Fly Vibes or something like that. I'm terrible with names. If you have a fashion label, that's your company, but it's owned by this individual. So we want you as the individual to register, because if we had to say company, then chances are Biggie, Dieo, Litsidi, they own a company, and like the admin for registration of a company would just it will be unnecessarily. And the whole point is so that we build a database of individuals that have the creative sector or that use their art that survive on their arts, for putting food on the table as their bread and butter. So the English the bundles, they get depleted sometimes, guys, my apologies. But registration is for individuals, and if you have a company, you can register, but you have to register as an individual. So I was basically responding to the questions that we are getting on our Facebook page. I think we're good.
All right, Nakwere sharp on them, and I know we started late due to the load shedding and generator issues at the venue. I just want to come back to Ndatemon and his question. Mtokozis, you are 100% right in saying what happens to, or in asking, what happens to the people that didn't make it in terms of registration? The reason why I keep emphasizing this, we have the plan. We have the plan, and the plan has brought us here. And this plan was not something that was thumbsucked last night and we made a phone call and we made this happen, or the summit. We have been planning this thing. We have been saying for years, Free State needs a summit. Free State needs a development plan for artists. Now, just the three of us sitting here is not enough brains to develop a whole province of so many versatile artists. We need ideas, we need manpower, we need everyone that can come to aid this development. Now, what I'm saying is, the fact that we're sitting here now and you are voicing out and everyone here is asking questions, I am noting these things down, and we are all noting them down. And we are hoping next time, as we sit here, we have identified already we could work with this person because they seem like they have good ideas in terms of what needs to be done. Now, the people that are not going to make it to the summit because we have a limited number influenced by budget, we will come back, we'll do another summit, and we'll do another one, and we'll do. If we have to do this thing 3 times a year, we'll do it 3 times a year. If we have to do it 4 times a year, we'll do it 4 times a year. But unfortunately, we needed to do this one so that we can go back to private sector and government to say, please support us. This is going to develop the creative Sarona, and already we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's proof. It's like mutaitsang event at the first event, it might just be a flop. But you build and you build and you build and you build. So there is a plan for that. There is a plan for that, but the other plan, the master plan, is that we all join our heads together and plan together and work this thing out. Understand? And I know I'm opening a can of worms by saying that, because some people will say, Lynn, I want to be part of this thing. Lynn, I want to be. If you are coming to this, let's be honest, bring your A game, because we do want to develop the Free State and its creatives. I don't know if Goara will end the talk.
Okay, due to time, ladies and gentlemen, I see. Okay, so questions and answers are officially closed, and for the benefit of those that are here, the panel is still here, so I'm sure you've got the benefit of contact where you can maybe get clarity on certain areas that you need. But, excuse me. But I think for the sake of granting clarity and perhaps somehow responding to some backlash that we saw in the week on social media, the directive is clear. And I think also with some of the encouragements that we're seeing coming up on Facebook now, on the comment section, I would like to believe that we are headed in the right direction. Certain things we don't all have to agree with, but we just need to trust the process and the initiative and just echo support where needed. And looking at the efforts in ensuring diversity and inclusivity of all legs of creativity in building the Free State creative sector, it is only befitting to support the vocal arts brains that are behind this big initiative. I would also just like to give an overview in case someone just joined the streaming on social media. The benefit of it is that it's going to be online for a couple of days or weeks to come, so you can go back just to see if you're still dwelling on the shared posts with everybody's insight on what they feel, what they think. Clarity has been granted. Ha ke bue tjena na hobane ke fumane tender bathong. Ntho tse ding ntho tse ding tshwantse o bue where you see that it's going to echo the needed growth. There's many gaps. The stature that our entertainment space is in the Free State is in a very much critical state, and such initiatives can only need support in order to see development of where of what we want to see. So just an overview on some of the areas that were shared was more the objectives of the vocal arts Creative Summit, which is to identify and develop various artists in different realms of entertainment and the creative space. This is not limited to only musicians and actors, because hangata, when we talk about entertainment or the arts, we're thinking the DJ, we're thinking actors, we're not thinking the driving forces behind the scenes. I mean, we are now streaming live to people that can't be here physically. There are the technical guys behind the scenes that are making us sound, sound and be able to be delivered to people that can't be here and get the information they need. Various parameters that are needed are also additional legs that make the overall business work. Press mentioned, I want to call you ka lebitso la hao la ID, but ke tlo lahla batho. I've done 101. Press mentioned the business acumen. Tiwe touched on missing information on applications. It's the administrative gap, which we know for many years has been a shortfall for even established multi-award-winning artists. So such initiatives seek to close those gaps, and it's not going to take just one summit. Also touching on the aftermath or programs afterwards, because now this shows that hase pati fela e tlo etsahala ngoba ngeli December, and we are now re betsa loto to the 20, so we can close and go enjoy the festive season. But the progression thereof for the sustainability of the artist and continuing growth or developing and growing the entertainment industry and sector of the Free State. This is just one, but some of the initiatives that talk to that. And there were many people that came with very valuable questions, wanting to know private sectors that are involved. And I would like to believe the team will be sharing that in due course. And again, with the 100 creatives that are going to get the opportunity to come here, I really, really wish that you will also be part of establishing something that is going to ensure that we also become like KZN. I always refer to KZN as a state on its own, like the United States of KwaZulu-Natal, because of what they're doing to the creative space. And if we can also adapt that mentality and support such, then we will be headed in the right direction. So just to re-echo and emphasize the important information, you still have up until tomorrow, the 7th of December 2023 at midday. So make sure that Gabo 10 to 12 for that, because we know we live in the world where our power is borrowed. So just make sure that you are aware of your load shedding schedule. Your phones are fully charged, you are connected, and you are able to submit. I'm going to repeat the number. The number to WhatsApp is 083-587-7478. So just WhatsApp the name VUKA, V-U-K-A, translated to Tsoha. So much power in that name, but story for another day. And the summit will be resuming on the 8th of December until, from the 8th up until the 10th. So the 8th and the 9th would be the master classes, the panels that will be part of the entire event. We've got Siputla Sibuhudi from Generation, those who know him. We've got quite a number of big names. So Mizi will also be part of the activities and the events that will be taking place. So this will be taking place at the Kingdom Academy right here in Valcom. So do make sure that if you wanna be part of the 100, you make sure that the admin part of things is correct. You've filled in all the information. Sky Tlola and say, hi, hakena information. It is important. The very same gap you leave is the same gap that is gonna have you eliminated. So you're basically eliminating yourself. So please, creatives, it is very important. If this is your bread and butter, the admin part of it is just as equally important. But then for myself, Asavela Mbata, also another creative in the broadcasting space. I love the fact you mentioned radio and broadcasting. But again, you see such things echo, they make us see, okay, the da. Sizofika apho, but ngoku can we focus and support here? How do you eat an elephant? A bite at a time, because it's so big. Thank you.